class. Today I will be demonstrating how to make the Quaker Oats old-fashioned oatmeal cookies. The recipe is on the lid that comes with the Quaker Oats old-fashioned, so we will be following that, only making a few adjustments. So I have already measured the ingredients and I will show you what they are now. Alright, so we're going to start out with our butter, and you just have to use one stick, a half a cup of butter, just place it on in there. Next we have our 3/4 cup packed brown sugar, in there, and then a half cup of regular granulated sugar. And now we have to mix it up, and mix it so it's nice and creamy. Okay, so I don't have an electric mixer at home, but this is as creamy as I'm going to get it. You with your electric mixers will probably do a better job. But now we're going to move on to the next step, which is adding the eggs and the vanilla. So when you crack eggs, you want to have a bowl with you in case you get a bloody egg. So we're just going to crack this first one in here. It looks good, there's no shells in it. You can see that. This one's good, so we're going to add it in. And the second egg. Oh, a little bit of a shell in there. So I got that out, we're going to add that in. And I'm going to wash my hands because I touched raw egg, and I'll be right back. Alright, we've added the eggs in, now we need our vanilla extract, and we're going to use one teaspoon of this. Make sure you measure carefully over the bowl. It's alright if you get a little drop in there, it's not going to do much, but you don't want to splash the whole thing on there, so make sure you're being careful with that. Alright, and you're going to mix this all together, make sure the egg is firmly beaten and everything is mixed well. Alright, so it should look something like this, so maybe a little bit better with your electric mixers. Alright, so I have washed my hands after messing with the wet ingredients, and now we're going to do the dry ingredients in a separate bowl. So in this bowl I have the flour, the 1.5 cups of flour. Now we're going to add the baking soda, 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a ½ teaspoon of salt, which is optional, but I'm going to add it today. And we're going to use a whisk and mix this all together so it's nice and even. Alright, so that looks good right there. And now we're going to take our wet mixture and we're going to add this flour mixture to the wet mixture. We are going to mix that all up until it is nice and well mixed. So now we have our mixture. It looks nice and creamy like this, and it smells really good. So now we're going to add what makes oatmeal cookies oatmeal cookies. The oats, which is 3 cups of the Quaker oats. And we're just going to give that a little bit of a mix too. Alright, so it's just a little bit mixed up. And we are going to finish off with these white chocolate chips. It says you can use raisins, which are normally in oatmeal cookies, but I'm going to use these. Give them a little sweetness. And we are just going to mix this all together. Make sure all the oats kind of come together into the mixture because they do tend to fly off. Alright, and you should have something like this. And next we're going to drop the cookies onto a pan and we're going to bake them in the oven. Alright, so before all this we preheated our oven to 350, so that's ready. And I've already started putting our cookies onto the sheets. They should be spaced 1, maybe 2 inches apart, just like this. And they're drop cookies, so you just place them on and they're going to expand on their own. You can either use a spoon or your hands if they're washed. I have washed my hands and I like to just grab them and kind of form them into a little bit of a ball, but don't pack them. Also remember when you're doing this, don't eat the cookie dough because we did use raw eggs. Sometimes I like to use applesauce in the place of eggs so you can actually eat the cookie dough. It is, let me see, 1/4 cup for every egg you're supposed to use in the recipe, so maybe you could try that next time. And as I'm forming these balls, I'm kind of making them, you know, not too big, not too small. You can kind of use your judgment on that. And we are just going to fill up this pan here. I'm going to fit about 9 cookies on this big pan and 6 cookies on that one. Alright, so now our pan is filled up and we can put it in the oven and cook it. Alright, so you're going to place your pans in the oven just like this, kind of the center of the rack. And you can close it and set your timer for about 8 to 10 minutes. It's always good to do the lowest time first. And we're just going to start and we will wait. Alright, so after resetting our time and after 10 minutes, our cookies look done. They're brown around the edges. They might look like they're not quite done in the middle, but they're supposed to look like that. So we're going to take them out and put them on a cooling rack. Alright, so after allotting time to let the cookies dry off, I'm just going to take them off with this spatula here and put them on the cooling rack. Remember that when you take anything out of the oven, you use hot mitts so that you don't burn yourself. And also don't touch the pans unless you have hot mitts, because they are still hot even if they've been sitting there for a while. Also, when you take the cookies off, they might be a little soft, so make sure you be careful. And that's it. Alright class, thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps you understand what we will be doing in the next week. Make sure to remember a few things as we do this recipe. Work as a team. Make sure everyone has a job they can do and everyone is helping each other out. Make sure you wash your hands frequently and equipment so that we can keep things safe and sanitary. And use hot plates, oven mitts, anything that can protect you from burns. And also just have fun with this. It's a lot of fun and it turns out to be really good. So if you have any questions, I will be there. Again, thank you for watching and I will see you in class tomorrow.